Welcome to Caring for Patients with Down Syndrome, a professional development series for health providers, brought to you by the Down Syndrome Association of Greater St. Louis and the Global Down Syndrome Foundation. This lesson, Enhancing Communication Through the Lens of Lived Experience, features Christy Klaus.
My name is Christy Klaus. I am the Family Support Coordinator for the Down Syndrome Association of Greater St. Louis. Since 2007, I've been working with families from a prenatal diagnosis of Down syndrome through young adulthood. This is also a personal journey for me. On July 9, 2002, our third and youngest child was born with Down syndrome. We entered an unknown world of doctor appointments, therapy visits, surgeries, and much more. Out of all that, I came to realize that I needed to advocate for my daughter, for her needs, especially when she was young. As she got older, she needed to learn to advocate for herself in many areas of life, including her own health care. Olivia is 22 now, and we continue to help her advocate for herself. Through this journey, we have encountered many healthcare professionals. The purpose of this video is to share information about how to interact with individuals with Down syndrome during a doctor appointment, with some tips and examples from real life. According to the CDC, about 16% of the population of the United States have some type of developmental disability. Of this, there are about 5,000 babies with Down syndrome born each year, with an average lifespan of 60 plus years. The chances of treating a person with a disability like Down syndrome are probably pretty good. The following is a list of the specialists that have been part of our lives for these first 22 years. Neonatology, genetics, pediatrics, anesthesiology, ophthalmology, endocrinology, emergency medicine, hospitalist, orthopedics, radiologist, spine surgery, general surgery, gastroenterology, cardiology, hepatology, family medicine, gynecology, neurology. While I have a fair amount of personal experience with how medical professionals interact with my daughter, I was also able to ask 700 of my closest mom friends in our private Facebook group. Many of them responded with their thoughts, which are included in this video. I will say that the communication during the pediatric years was mostly good. It seems that most healthcare professionals that are trained or regularly work with children know how to create a positive communication environment. As we have transitioned into adult care, there have been a few more challenges. First, I would like to share a few things about Down syndrome that may help with effective communication. If you have met one person with Down syndrome, you have met one person with Down syndrome. In the Down syndrome population, there is a wide range of cognitive and communication abilities. Interactions with medical professionals can be impacted by intellectual disability and speech and language impairment. Individuals may be nonverbal, use sign language or a communication device. Some have just a few spoken words, and others are able to communicate with many words. Some have difficulties with articulation and intelligibility. Understand the common health issues in individuals with Down syndrome. There are healthcare guidelines for individuals with Down syndrome, a checklist for children and one for adults. There are also many uncommon health issues that may not be found in the guidelines. Parents possess valuable insight in these situations. Concerns should not be missed as it's just Down syndrome. People with Down syndrome have high social awareness. They are especially aware of and sensitive to their immediate social environment. Most are quite adept at reading social cues, especially at picking up the feelings and emotions of others in their environment, including healthcare professionals. We have seen this in action many times in Olivia's life. Olivia had a second grade teacher that had a sign in her room that read, "Students don't care what you know until they know that you care." I have learned over the years that this is the key for anyone that builds a relationship with Olivia, and especially healthcare professionals. Use people-first language. We have children with Down syndrome, not Down's kids. Down syndrome is just a part of who they are. These words matter to parents. Guardianship and supported decision making. Once an individual with Down syndrome turns 18, some parents will become their legal guardians and will sign any paperwork related to their health care. This also allows them to make the final decisions about their loved one's health care. Other families may utilize supported decision making. In this model, the individual with Down syndrome creates a team of people to help them in specific areas of their lives. In order for healthcare professionals to communicate with parents, the individual with Down syndrome will need to sign a HIPAA release form. I put together feedback from other parents and some trusted online resources to create an ideal interaction, our top 5 pieces of advice. Number 1, say hello to the person with Down syndrome first. Many in the group thought that this was important to establish rapport. Ask the person with Down syndrome to introduce you to who is with them. Ask if it is okay that their parent or caregiver helps to answer the questions. Number 2, spend a few minutes getting to know the person and build trust. Ask a few questions to get to know the person, considering using yes/no questions to start while you assess their communication skills. Remember, they are sensing the emotions in the room. A short conversation can put you both at ease. Number 3, be patient and give them extra time to respond. Individuals with Down syndrome have delays in processing speed. Allow extra time for a response. Use the 10-second rule. If you don't understand what the person said, ask them to repeat or to show you. Number 4, use simple language and support with visuals. Individuals with Down syndrome have deficits in verbal short-term memory. Use shorter sentences and simpler words. Use visual aids such as pictures, models, gestures. Tell them what you will be doing next. Taking temperature, blood pressure, looking into eyes or ears. Check that they understood what you said. Number 5, individuals with Down syndrome may have difficulty with self-report of symptoms of illness, injury, and especially pain. You may need to ask more questions, ask them to show you, or ask the parent for guidance. When Olivia has pain between her mid-chest and her knees, she says, "My belly hurts." This leads to a lot more investigating. We believe these 5 tips can help any medical professional who interacts with a person with Down syndrome. Now we will move on to a few real-life examples. I have titled this, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The good. Thankfully, there have been lots of good interactions between Olivia and her doctors. Most of her doctors are kind and respectful and include her in the interaction. Recently, Olivia had an initial visit with a neurologist. First, he took some time to get to know Olivia. He asked her questions about her interests and her family, giving her time to answer and feel comfortable. During the exam, he explained each step and waited for her to show that she understood the question. He used some humor and made her feel comfortable. I could see the positive from this interaction, Olivia's willingness to engage, answering questions, and looking relaxed. She pulled out her phone to show him a picture of one of the activities she does. Near the end of the visit, Olivia shared with the doctor how much she liked him. This will set the foundation for building a good relationship. The bad. Our bad experience happened during a first visit with a gynecologist. She walked into the room, maybe glanced at Olivia, and started talking directly to me, asking me how it was going with Olivia's new prescription. Shame on me for answering so quickly. I said it seemed to be going okay. She said, "Well then, I guess we're all good here," and the appointment was over. I felt that if Olivia did not have Down syndrome, that the appointment would have been more personal and longer, especially for a first visit. While the doctor may have just been in a hurry, I sensed she was uncomfortable with her. The ugly. When Olivia was 10 years old, she was diagnosed with scoliosis. We were referred to a spine surgeon where we began our 2-year journey of bracing, spinal x-rays, and follow-up appointments to check the progress of her curvature. At most of these appointments, Olivia's doctors, as well as several other fellows, would come in to look at her x-rays and then have her bend over to check her spine. Olivia would sit on the exam table and the doctor would expect her to immediately comply with his request. Did I mention how people with Down syndrome can read a room? She could sense his frustration. She would sit with her arms crossed on the exam table. It was a showdown for sure. Then the doctor would look at us and tell her what to do, just shaking his finger and pointing to Olivia, also mentioning about these Downs kids. It made the appointments long and difficult. After 2 years, her spine kept curving, so she had her spine fused from T3 to L4. We spent the next year doing post-op appointments. And while bedside manner was not a priority, I am so grateful for the extraordinary talent of this surgeon. Olivia healed well from this surgery, and I don't think he will forget her. She tested every rule he had for post-op care. Maybe he learned something along the way. There are many Down syndrome associations around the country that are serving families in their area. Making sure families are connected is just so important. Healthcare professionals can help with this. Here at the Down Syndrome Association of Greater St. Louis, one of our most common requests is parents looking for doctor recommendations for their loved one with Down syndrome. So we keep lists of various specialists that other parents have recommended. The only way to get on this list is to be recommended by a parent or caregiver. I hope after today you have the information you need to maybe one day be that doctor that parents recommend to other parents.